Hey, Nick Pappas, episode number 19. You're joining us here at the Mentors with Clinton and also Matt Lahood. Say hello, boys.
Nick Pappas in the house. How are you?
Hey, guys. How are you?
The architect.
Mate, how are you? We caught up with you initially back in episode number 6. And if you remember, Nick, at the time you were talking about what does success look like for us and whatever else. And we thought, well, let's talk about you and see how things have been going for you this year. And how your success has been in 2018 so far.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Yeah, it's been good, actually.
This is how we like to shoot, from the hip, authenticity.
Nick,
isn't that right, Clinton?
Yeah.
We got you on Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
You've clocked off, haven't you? I can feel it. You're sitting down there in Maroubra in one of those cafes.
Yeah. He's having a lager.
Yeah.
You're sitting there in one of those cafes.
I'm having a lager. I wish I was. No, look, truthfully, I suppose, 2018 has, yep. Thank you, guys. I'm just in a bit.
You're not exchanging.
He's exchanging on a deal.
It sounds like you're selling something prior to auction.
Look, you know what? 2018 has been pretty good, actually. I must say, like, from a business level, for me, it's probably the marketplace that I enjoy most as to where we're at. Like, it's a real real estate market. So just from actual marketplace, I think that's great because I think, for any, and I'd like to consider myself a good agent, it lets me actually put my best skills out there to the marketplace, you know what I mean? And actually work with what people need. So I actually really enjoy this. Like, it makes me feel like a real estate agent. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, totally.
Someone that stands at an open house on the weekend because they're, trying to look busy. So, in my experience, this is great. I'm loving it.
What are you saying, Nick? You're thinking this market's showing what agents have got true skills.
Really got to get out there and exactly.
You're honing your skills and using them. Yeah, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like, it's actually showing people solutions to their problems. Like an example was I had a lady today that said, "No, I want $1.05 million. I want $1.05 million." And I'm like, "Look, the property is probably worth 900 to 950." And she's like, "No, it's not." And I said, "Okay, look, I want to take on your business," because her motivation was there to sell. And I said, the only way I'm going to do it is I said, I want me and you to walk around and look at 3 or 4 other properties similar to yours. I want you to see the prices. And then if you still think it's worth $1.05 million, then you know what? You put up the marketing today. We'll go in and start, selling your property. But I said, I don't want you to waste your money marketing your property if you don't see the value in it. And, we did that today for an hour. We looked around some apartments in Maroubra and she came back and said, "Nick, now I know my property's not worth that much. And I'm happy to sell it at 900 to 950.
See, mate, that's what real estate agents do.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Clouds just jumped in on you there.
No, it's true. Yeah.
But mate, Nick, to take my hat off to you there, because most agents, and I'm not saying like most agents would not have that, because it's harder to do what you did. It's a lot easier to say, look, $1.05 million, no problem. Press hard, second copy's yours. Just give us a check, and we'll talk on the last day before the auction. And then it's a terrible relationship from day one, right? To do what you've done, you could get her $1 million now and you're going to be the superstar of her life,
Correct.
And you probably will, knowing the way you work, mate, you'll probably work as hard as you can and get more than 950. But the reality is at least you've told her, and she's going to trust you now, because if 943 comes in and that's the best offer, after 3 weeks of marketing, she's taking that offer, right?
Correct. And taking the time to
feel bad taking her money.
Correct.
Correct. 4 or 5 grand is a lot of money for a 70-year-old lady.
Oh, it's an older lady too, is it? That's even. It doesn't matter what age, but that's every dollar counts to who's sort of in their retirement, and that's really important.
That's the reality. You know what I mean, guys? So I don't know. I love this type of market.
So, mate, that took you an hour out of your life, really, to do that. Did it? A couple of hours?
To drive her around, show some property.
Look, it did. It took me an hour,
Mate,
we went out to Mascot. We went out.
I bet you built rapport in that couple of hours too, did you?
Yeah, I did. And you know what? She brought the neighbour with her, right? So this is really good. The neighbours come back and said, "You know what? He's telling you the truth." So, I've actually potentially,
Third party, you had a
made
third
another
party.
I
client.
thought you were going to say the neighbour listed their house
if
with
that
you as
lady
well.
wants to sell, the neighbour,
will.
I think she'll be coming to talk to me. You know what I mean?
So tell her to bring all the neighbours. You should have said bring 3 more.
Hey, Nick, it's Clinton here.
No, but that's how it works, guys. You know, like, it's just funny. Like, you don't know how the universe works. You know what I mean? Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
good
when you
work.
do the
100%.
right thing,
Cool.
you be honest, you show people,
Yeah.
you know, reality, you sit down, you have good conversation, meaningful conversations with people.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, your business starts to grow. And this is the best time that your business can grow.
In
Like,
this
if
type
you
of
pull
market.
through this
Yeah.
market as a salesperson, you're going to be writing big dollars come in the next 3-4 years when the market turns again.
Exactly.
Nick, quick question for you, mate. When you made
Yeah.
that decision to take her around for an hour and
So
so,
clean? Is that clean?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you speak up because I just couldn't hear you very well? Sorry.
Hey, mate, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. When you made that decision to take her around for an hour, did any thoughts cross your mind of whether you should do this or not, or was it just naturally like, yeah, I'm going to do it because it's the right thing?
Nah, because the way I looked at it, Clint, she wanted to work with me. This is the way I looked at it, right? I don't look at what I'm worth an hour, but I know what the deal's worth to me as an agent, right? And I said, you know what? In an hour, I'm either going to get her off my back and she's going to go with another agent and come back in 3 months. Realistically, that's what I thought. Or I'm going to do business with her today. And I'm not kidding you. She came back to my office an hour after I dropped her back off at home. She walked over to my office and said, Nick, you know, I want to sign up. I want to do this. And I said, look, truthfully, I was actually meeting with another agent to interview him to come and work with me. And I said, look, can I come over and see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock? And she said, yeah, that's fine. So, like, you know, like for me, she's now come back to me and wants to do business with me. And I'd rather do business with people like that than me chasing people to do business with them
100%.
that we're not on the same page.
Yep.
Isn't it?
You know what I mean?
It's a good question you asked, though, Clint, because, like, you know, you sort of think, you know, should I just do this for this once, or is that just the way you are? What you're saying, in actual fact, is it's just best off to be authentic all the time, rather than just cut the situation to suit the person.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, Nick, what you've done too is you've put yourself in a moral situation now where when the truthful price comes in, you're going to feel really good about saying that. The other thing too is the market's not going to waste its time coming through the property either. So the buyers aren't going to waste their time,
Correct.
you know, thinking they're not going to buy it's overpriced. So you've actually done a dual role, you know.
And you know,
like I think. Sorry, just coming back to you, Matt. Sorry,
Yeah.
I think when you employ a real estate agent, you're employing them to help you make a decision. Like, you know, when
Correct. Impartial.
like, you know what I mean? Like, I went to someone's house today as well. We signed up another property over in Pagewood, and they were
listing
saying,
machine.
See you next week, mate.
Yeah.
No, it's been a mad month, mate. I'm telling you.
Having a bad
But no,
month.
the thing is too, like it's sort of like, you know, talking to those people that want to sell in this market. These particular owners were sort of under some financial pressure, and they just said, "Look, you know, we don't know what to do. We're going to get divorced." This is no joke, guys. It was a really hard conversation. I haven't had a conversation like this with a vendor in probably 9 years because the market's been so good.
Really?
Financial pressure has never caused this problem, right? So it was interesting. I took my assistant with me, Eva, who's 21 years old, and obviously doesn't have probably the life experience that I've had in real estate and everything else. And she was listening, and they said, "You know what? We're on the brink of divorce." And I said, "Over a house?" And they said, "Yeah." And I said, "So you're going to lose your kids, 4 kids, husband? You're going to let go of all that because of your mortgage?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I said, "So what's the house worth?" She goes, "Probably 1.8." And I said, "What's your mortgage?" She goes, 1.2. I said, "So you've got $600,000 equity, and it's that bad that you're going to let go of all your family for, and walk away with $600,000."
That's right.
But sometimes people don't, like, when they're in a really bad place like that, they don't understand that. You know
They
what I
don't
mean?
think properly.
So life experience teaches you how to help people. And for me, it wasn't about signing that listing up straight away today. I actually went there knowing the situation to say, "Guys, what are you thinking?" You know what I mean? Like, you can actually sell the house, buy something, and have a mortgage of $400,000.
Correct.
But you're not going to live in a house. You're going to live in a townhouse. But that's not bad. You know what I mean?
That's right. And you're still together, and you're a family, and you're a unit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and then sometimes people need to hear those things. And I think as agents, sometimes we're just thinking about going in there, signing things up and selling them. But, that helps them make a decision today and say, you know what, we're going to sell, and we're going to sell in a good place. We're going to be happy about selling. We're not going to be selling under duress or pressure. You know what I mean?
It's interesting. Like, it's Clint here again, Matt. But a lot of what I hear in between the lines of what you're saying is the attention to what each client actually needs. So, with the first lady, it's, having a realistic expectation of where the market is. With the second couple, it's like being able to find a solution around, the financial situation. But you seem to be very well connected with what each person actually needs and then how you can come in to provide a solution on that.
Yeah. How to solve their challenge, their problem.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's all most people want.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
That's exactly right. I think, what you're saying, Nick, is absolutely true. Is like the game is to actually work out how can I solve their problem, come from a place of kindness, come from a place of empathy, right?
Yeah.
And see what's best for them. So why should they be selling or doing what they're doing for their advantage, not my own? Because it's all about them, not about me, And I think where agents get lost in it, especially in a tightening market, they need a listing or they need a sale, it always becomes about them and not about the client, and they lose that. Yeah. So it's no wonder why you're doing so well, Nick. You know what I mean? Because you're coming from a good place every time you're putting yourself in that situation.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah. And I think that makes a difference to people. But like I was just saying, how's 2018 been for me? As an agent, great. From a personal perspective as well, pretty good. Like, I'm doing a few things for myself now, which me and you have been talking about, Claudio.
Yep.
But more or less around, like, how can I say to you, what we've been doing together,
yes,
has taught me as well about where I'm going in my business and in my life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So,
cool.
I've started to do a few things for myself. Like I said, I'm going to learn something new. Yeah. So I've actually, enrolled myself to do golf lessons, which I did the first time with Clint.
Awesome.
I didn't know how to play
golf.
We'll have a boys'
weekend.
Learn to play
Matt,
golf.
so I was telling Matt before that I had this. Matt's been in Barrel today, right? And I said to Matt, I remember going to Barrel and I was there with the boys 6-7 years ago, Nick, right? And I said I had the most amazing pork knuckle at the German restaurant, and we went on a golf weekend with the boys. So next time we go to play I'm going to do a golf thing. I'll get you involved. You'll come with me. We just got to get Matt Lahood to golf.
Like I can only tee off. I don't know about anything else yet.
Don't worry, I'm still looking for my balls as well.
I swung a golf thing there. I hit the big ball, which was the earth. That's all I could hit. I couldn't connect the little one.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. But no, look, man, life in general is good, man. I think it's what you make of it.
Because you came from a big place, and if we remember back in episode 6, you were working at Fairfield. You went through a breakdown. You came into Century 21 Maroubra. You've been there for a little bit less than 3 years. And I've done some research the other day, and you're number one in Maroubra at the moment, the number one agent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, that's
selling agent.
Yeah, selling agent, right? Whatever you want to call it.
And there is other good agents in Maroubra.
There's better listers, are there, than you? You're just the number one selling agent.
It's like selling listing 2 today. We've caught him on one of his slow days. But
congratulations, Nick. You can see why you are number one, mate. Your demeanour and the way you're approaching it is the key.
Yeah, and can I just ask you this, Nick, for you? Because I get a lot of people saying, you work for Century 21, and there are some agents out there sometimes that I work with going, I work in an agency and the brand's not good. But obviously, you've proven that it's not about the brand, it's about you, the person. And hearing.
I'll tell you the truth. I think Matt Lahood's proven that and one thing that I've spoken to Matt about as well is, Matt's brand is called The Agency, right?
Yep.
So, it's about the agent, not the brand. You are the brand.
Correct.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. So
people that blame the brand are looking for reasons.
I totally agree. Look, the brand's an identifier. There's some great, like Century 21's a great brand, Hookers, Ray White, Rain and Horn, but it's only as good as the people driving it, isn't it?
Correct.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
You've seen some sensational Hookers, LJ Hookers offices around Australia, and you've seen some not so good ones. You've seen some, that's just how it is. It's all about
You've seen some nice hookers?
Yeah, cool. The brand, it all.
No, authentic, mate. That's staying.
Have you guys been thinking this afternoon? Or?
Friday afternoon.
Friday afternoon.
But, it doesn't really matter. All
Should have
brands...
come there for the interview, not over the phone.
all brands no, different. It all comes back to the agent. You totally agree, and how they build their following and their client base and how they nurture people and repeat and referral business. That's the reality.
Nick, just a couple of things because you've had a really phenomenal year so far in 2018. You're number one in your core market. Just for some of the listeners out there saying, okay, well, if he can do it, maybe I can do it. What would be some of the strategic things that you did just this year in 2018 so far? Because we're halfway through the year, or for some people, it's going to be the new financial year. What are some of the key things that you've done? Because I've seen you doing a lot more, video. You're doing podcasts. You're doing a lot of different things, right? So what would be some of the key things that you feel like? I mean, even you're doing Sunday opens. Most agents going, I don't work on a Sunday, but you're out there. So what would be some of the things that you felt?
Look, all those things that I've done, I think, give me some market presence and all that. But I think the biggest thing is probably what I've done, like, for myself within my team, like just really good procedures, really good systems, easy to use checklists. So that way we don't miss anything. You know what I mean?
Yep. Systems and processes.
And I think that's probably one thing. As far as getting some sort of exposure out there, like, definitely I think videos are great. I've had people walk up to me and say, look, I'm grateful for Clint, like we work really well together.
Thanks,
I've had people walk up to me and say, Nick, you know what, like what we see in the video is exactly what we're seeing out on Open Home. It feels so good. It feels like we've already met you. So, that opens up conversations and helps people talk to you, and, it becomes a little bit easier. You're not talking business. You start talking as friends, and then, as friends, you start doing business. So that's what I always look at. I always look at, can we be friends? Yeah, we can. All right, then we can do business together. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the video lets me do that.
Yes.
So that's probably the video. The Sunday opens, I would say, would probably be, I don't get big numbers through, but the people that do come through on a Sunday are really keen to either buy or sell their place.
Yeah.
So I'm really loving the Sunday opens, because with more stock coming on the market, let's be real, how many open homes can you run?
Correct.
And how many families can get to picking up kids from soccer, netball, football, tennis,
working on a Saturday? Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
It's just impossible. So I've found, certain properties need an open home on a Sunday, and I think my clients appreciate that.
Can I tell you, Nick, just something to one of the guys that spoke at ARIC this year, Tanny Jan, who he spoke this year. He's an Indian. His background is Indian.
Love that guy, man. That guy's awesome.
Can I tell you? And he says prospecting is oxygen, right? Anyway, on Facebook the other day, he put the interview that I did with Elite Agent Magazine, and he wrote on there, Claudio, thank you for so much, and for that tip around doing Sunday opens. He goes, that is working unbelievable. I said, don't thank me, thank Nick Pappas.
No, I appreciate it. But it's good. Look, you know what? Like, I work half a day on a Sunday.
Yep.
My family on a Sunday like to sleep in.
Yep.
So I can sit around the house and laze around, and I'm not the type of bloke that can sit still for too long, as you know.
Yeah.
So I'll get up, I'll go do my opens. I'm home by lunchtime, then I'll spend the rest of the day with my kids or my wife at the park or whatever we do on a Sunday. You know what I mean? And then I take Wednesday off so I can give them some time or half a day. So I'm still spending time with my family. You know what I mean?
That's so good.
Balancing it all. You know, it's not like you're going to work 7 days a week and do nothing else but work. That's not a good business model either.
No, exactly. And Nick, it was funny. Like, even another guy that I was talking to the other day, and he was saying he was going to start to do Sunday opens as well, but he had like 9 opens on a Saturday. But out of the Sunday ones that he was going to do, he was only going to choose, I think, 3. And I just sort of said, just choose the ones where the vendors are motivated, number one. Number 2, prices aligned with the marketplace. So you haven't got an overpriced listing, because you don't want to do a Sunday open, it's overpriced, no one's going to turn up. Okay. Yeah. And I said, so choose carefully the ones that you are going to open on a Sunday. Don't just put all 9 of them. Choose maybe the ones that you feel are definitely going to be, because I think what's more important today is having those properties at a sweet spot.
Yeah.
In price. That's going to attract, buyers to come in. It's going to create some interest and then create some competition, hopefully get, top dollar for the home for the vendor. But I think that's super crucial, having that sweet spot. So, if you're out there listening and thinking, I'm just going to go do Sunday opens and that's going to be the silver bullet to getting property sold. No. There's a couple of things.
Yeah,
make
it's
sure
not for everyone.
Yeah, it's not for everybody, but just make sure if you do, vendors got to be motivated. Number one, they want to sell. Like, there's vendors out there at the moment going, I need to sell. I bought another property, so please help.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's number one. Number 2 is someone where they're listening to you on price. Because you know what, if your vendor's here and your price is here and you're on a line, you're not going to get a sale.
totally
you need to make
agree.
sure you're totally aligned on price. So, no, that's awesome. So, Nick, mate, well done on a phenomenal 6 months this year, and congratulations on being ranked number 1 in Maroubra, which is super cool. Love doing what you're doing. Any plans between now and the end of the year that you want to sort of do with your business and your team at all that you're going to be focusing on?
Mate, just growing the team. Really trying to get that super team model. Get some others to grow with us, and just that's probably my biggest goal at the moment. Just getting that super team that we've been discussing in our private stuff we've been talking to Claudio. I think it's about just getting that one more person in my team to work under me and with me. You know what I mean? Like on our missions together, and just growing, like just growing at a natural rate. Like things are good at the moment. So I don't want to.
Beautiful. And can I ask you this? As you're doing this, let me ask you this. Okay, do you feel like you have more work-life balance now?
Yeah, I think I do, man. Because you know what? Like, I really think that I don't put that unnecessary pressure on myself. Like, I've realized that if I can put something in my diary as a listing, I can put it in my diary as I'm going out for lunch with a friend or my kids and my wife or whatever, what I mean? So, like, it's just balancing it all. But I think I'm lucky because I've built a good team around me as well, and that's what really makes the difference. I think if you haven't got good people around you, and you're not training those people, like, I was reading something yesterday, and they were talking about training and what you do. So, you've got to train people. You got to coach them. You got to be their mentor. You know what I mean? Yeah, and if you're not doing all that type of stuff, well, you can't expect.
You got to invest. You must invest in your people. That's a reality.
Yeah, and it is. Like, this is the thing that I got yesterday. It said the 7 C's to build a winning team is coaching, character, communication, commitment, contagious energy, caring, and consistency. And I thought, man, that's so true. So
Can we steal
that's
that?
Something that I've.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah,
Sorry, I didn't catch
that was awesome. Can you repeat it one more time, really slowly?
Yeah, it was coaching. So the 7 C's to build a winning team is coaching, character, communication, commitment, contagious energy, caring, and consistency. And I think when I looked at that yesterday,
mind blowing.
7 great traits.
I thought that's awesome.
So good.
Yeah, amazing.
That's the truth. So I think I finally realized that I had to do that like a while ago without even realizing it. If that makes sense. And I think I'm really lucky that I've got good people around me. I think without them, I wouldn't be able to have a work like that. And a successful business and a good. And success is different to everybody, right? Success is some people it's all about money. Some people it's all about having time with their family. Others it's traveling.
Yeah,
everyone's got a different way of looking at success. So,
totally.
But for me, my success is at the moment awesome. I'm grateful.
Good on you, mate. Hey, listen, Nick, thanks for joining us back here from episode 6. Now you've come back. We checked in with you. You've been on episode number 19, which is super cool. And congratulations once again on your amazing achievements this year with you, your team, and everyone else. You've been doing great. And also you're in a great space at the moment. Like you said, definition for everyone is different. And from what I can hear, your definition sounds like you're happy, which is super cool. Mate, wishing you all the best through 2018.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you for all your support and help as well, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much.
Got something great from this episode? It would mean the world to us if you passed it on. Tune in each week as we mentor a new agent. Have a question? Want to be on the show? Get in touch with Claudio Encina, Matt Lahood, or visit our Facebook page. The Mentors is brought to you by Sprinkler.media.